have free-for-alls, which are worse.
It's going to be fun regardless. We'll try
I
and
think so.
pay attention to what all the players are doing. Yeah, but here we are. It is match number 1 between these two teams. Let me just see if I can do the... It was the Alt F, I believe. Or I'm not sure.
Alt F, but sometimes
to
I don't
change
think
the
you can
team
do that.
colors.
Team games, I've had trouble with that, to be honest.
Yeah, it can be a bit tricky. But anyway, here we are. Team number 1, I guess, in the top left-hand side of the map. It is BeastyQt, and slightly to the right, his teammate MaxPax.
And in the top left, where are we? There we go. Where is your camera? I need to find it real fast. You are... Oh, I gotcha. Okay. There we go. And then in the bottom right, we've got the Teal Terran player, BeastyqtMaxPax. And his teammate right next door, not too far away, is the red Protoss player, Goblin.
Yes. So, mirror matchup is really all that I can say. Let's see, can I disable... Okay, I can disable the clan text. That might help make things a little bit more readable. But, yeah, we'll just keep an eye on what's going on so far, I guess. Most notably is the extra proxy barracks here from BeastyQt.
Yeah, I mean, does it even really qualify as a proxy as much as it's just kind of hiding?
It's just 2 Rex Reaper.
Yeah, exactly. Just hiding the one so the probe doesn't know it's 2 racks. Again, what's great about 2v2 is the combinations of units on teams.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can do something like a bunch of zealots with some medevac support, which is insanely stupid. Seen that before. I don't know if we're going to get it here, but by golly, that is one of the scarier things you can see in a 2v2.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised to see BeastyqtMaxPax going for an expansion. As 2v2, it's fair to say that it can just be a giant mess, so to go for something as just as macro-y as he's doing, it's pretty bold, dare I say. As he's going to be going up against 2 Rax Reaper and then Goblin, who's going for a Stargate off 1 base. Double Stargate off 1 base. Okay, here we go.
That's what we're talking about. And that's another thing you can do in team games. You can go mass Phoenix in team games if your teammates are helping at the ground.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then mass Phoenix is terrifying. Shows up, lifts, kills everything, your whole army dies, and you're like, well, that's fine. They don't have a ground army, but then they do because they have a teammate.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see something along those lines. Maybe not just mass, but could be pretty good.
The synergy could be so real this game between teams. And I think, like, result-wise and everything, BeastyQt and MaxPax are, I guess, the lesser known players as far as like result wise and stuff go, but BeastyQt has a bit of a reputation for coming out in like tournaments and just doing really weird things.
Absolutely.
And so this is why I'm just excited to see how these two are playing. Like, they're already showing some odd builds with some cool teamwork.
Yeah, this is a really passive 2v2. That's one of the things about 2v2 is everybody's got a timing attack with their two armies.
Yeah.
But not here. I mean, everyone's just kind of hanging out, kind of chilling. Everyone's making a lot of workers, no matter who they are.
Yeah, very respectful.
MaxPax working on some Phoenix here. Both players actually getting that Phoenix count up, which is very good.
Yeah, Goblin is getting up his second Stargate now. Both these players got to be very careful because Phoenix versus Phoenix is so risky. Like, you can just straight up lose. So that's why I really like how MaxPax went for the quick double Stargate, just to basically be like, I'm the Phoenix guy in this game. And Goblin's, it's going to take him a while to catch back up.
Alright, so got a single medevac heading out here. Again, not really a lot of stuff going on from MaxPax, although he is coasting around with some Phoenix, trying to cause some problems.
Yeah, this is pretty risky from BeastyQt, going out for a drop when you know that your opponent has, like... You haven't seen any army out on the map, so it means there's 2 armies back at home defending. He's going to give it the good old college try, though, with 3 Widow Mines.
And there are Phoenix ready to go for Goblin, though.
this-
That is a lift and kill situation if I've ever seen
This
one.
is a sad time for Terran all around. But, oh, the Phoenix move out of position. The drop is heading towards the main base of Goblin. And, oh, the mines are going to unload. This is bad news bears for the bottom team. All
right.
Going off.
Yeah, decent hits there. Didn't crush the entire economy, but still nicely done. Where are those Phoenix, and why aren't they helping? There we go.
Now, but a little bit late. I see Copenhagen Das and Aki in chat. Hello.
Yay, Aki.
Some of the usual guys.
I can't even get chat to load. What is going on?
Maybe try a different browser or something.
Yeah, Firefox doing the same thing. So maybe it's my ISP or something strange.
Yeah, because sometimes like I'll have issues being able to load the stream, but I'm actually loading the stream and streaming fine.
Nice.
Which is good. And also
That's more
exciting
important.
news. I'm finally getting fiber.
All right. Yeah, that is the best news.
It's been a decade in the making since I got into like gaming and PCs and stuff. I'm finally gonna have that good internet.
It is so wonderful. You will not miss the old days. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just Phoenix balls. Oh, you have a bunch of Marines?
Not enough.
Fine. Yeah, we're good. Surprised they didn't try to kill those tanks, but priority targets here.
Oh, a recall. That's a smart move from Goblin. Gets all of his Phoenix out. I was gonna say it was a bit risky to be out on the map with his mass Phoenix.
And it was.
What I love about this game, though, is Euthermal's gone 3 CC and he's just making Thors to counter his opponent's Phoenix. I actually love that decision. Like, no matter how many Phoenix you have, you can't lift up Thors.
And that splash damage is pretty good when you clump them
Yeah,
up.
they've already taken a bit of a beating. This is so risky from MaxPax. His Phoenix, they are way too far out, I feel. Already losing, like, all their shields to those Thor shots.
Exactly. Every Thor shot is a massive problem for that Phoenix ball. Working on upgrades. Fleet Beacon coming in from Goblin. I knew we'd get one. Whether it's for carriers or whether it's just for the Anion Pulse Crystals upgrade for range.
Team
Either
games,
way.
They are all about just, like, turtling the carriers and stuff.
Carrier Thor push. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, indeed. This is what I wanted to see when we were doing this tournament. Just like a macro game between all the pro players.
Just for the chaos, you know.
Just for the chaos. Phoenix counts 18 to 15.
Yeah, pretty even. Carriers for MaxPax are in production. And it is the Anion Pulse Crystals upgrade for Goblin. So he wants that range on the Phoenix, which is really nice in Phoenix versus Phoenix battles for sure.
It's necessary if your opponent has it, and MaxPax does have it. But look at this. Beastyqt and MaxPax are moving on in. The tanks are going to be able to zone out the Thors, but oh, the Phoenix already taking some big shots there. They're just so soft up. The +1 Thors apparently pretty good versus Phoenix. I never knew this.
Yeah, the tanks are going to be a problem for these Thors. They can't really waddle in there without taking some serious damage. And the tanks are in range of that third base from Euthermal.
Yeah. Turrets are getting thrown up as well to cover this guys.
Alright, they're going anyway.
They're
we
going
can't let
for
this base go down. Phoenix versus Phoenix.
The tanks get lifted up, but oh, was there Widow Mines in there?
Yeah, Widow Mine shots on Goblin's Phoenix here. Really problematic, but they do manage to push out the army. They save that third base. Yeah. And everything, I think, is okay. I mean, supply-wise, both teams are looking all right. Goblin's at 89 supply, not as happy as he wants to be, but
yeah, no,
could be
he's
a lot
still just making Phoenix.
This
is a little bit concerning here when your opponent's making carriers and everything. Beastyqt already securing up his 4th base, which is good to see. He's doing very well in the economy. So BeastyqtMaxPax seem to be winning out in the economy and doing pretty well in the game overall so far. The mass Thors on the way for you, Thermal. Looks like a bit of a Hellion run by being attempted. Not amounting to much.
Nope. Tempest Productions here. We're working on a mothership. If you're Goblin, liking that choice, expanding again. Everybody going to that 4-base economy at this stage. Thermals is landing in now too.
This is interesting. Goblin's making Tempest. Are Tempest any good?
Yeah, Tempests are fantastic against carriers. That's like one of the things they were built to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I just know that they've fallen a bit to the wayside. I personally haven't seen a lot of PvP late game Tempest versus carrier lately. But yeah. Goblin, apparently just saying, right, Tempests and a bunch of Thors? Maybe the best composition? I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, the Thors are going to be great versus the Tempests too. They just have incredible amounts of range. That single target damage is fantastic.
Yeah.
And also good versus the carriers for the same reasons. The Thors are going to be worth their weight in gold here as long as they can avoid getting destroyed by these tanks.
Yeah, that is the main thing. Thors beat tanks, but then, or tanks beat Thors, but then Thors beat Phoenix. A lot of finesse going on in the background here. Beastyqt shuffling his Widow Mines forward, hoping to get some big hits on the Phoenix. The Tempests are out for Goblin, so he can kind of start zoning out his opponent, but once again, the top team is pushing on in.
Alright, so everything's cloaked up. Mothership does go down, though. Thors are just getting some nice damage off on those Phoenix and the carriers if they get too close. And Team Pink and Purple here has got to back out a little bit. I mean, Phoenix aren't incredible at killing tanks, but eventually they'll get there with enough shots.
Yeah, Thermal and Goblin going to be pushing out to try and force them back. It could work out. However, the tanks are still zoning out the Thors, but it seems the Tempest are doing the work for them. And oh, the Thors even getting on top of some unsieged tanks from Beastyqt.
Yeah, this is the first time Team South has really been able to push across this side of the map, so looking good. The Thors are doing a ton of damage, and now the tanks are sieging up for Beastyqt, though. The Thors have to back out. Look at them taking down that mothership.
It's
Holy
just
smokes.
Gone. The carriers,
that died
though,
real fast. Thor, pretty good unit these days.
Thors are pretty darn good. I agree. The Tempest count isn't that high for Goblin anymore. He's just trying to kite back, so the carriers seem to have forced a stalemate at this point in the game. It's tough to exactly say who's winning in this situation. It looks like Thermal Goblin are down on supply a little bit still. And Beastyqt is starting to make a lot of his own Thors.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are pretty happy. Nobody's lost a huge part of their economy to this point. Goblin's actually, he is lagging back a little bit in overall supply, but
Oh my gosh.
I think he'll be alright.
3 more Stargates are on the way for Goblin.
Yeah, he loves his air. Loves his carrier.
He does, apparently. Now the Tempest versus Tempest fight could be underway. Interestingly enough, the scans can give vision for the Tempest to use their long range. So a little bit of teamwork could be used there. And as Aki points out in chat, Thermal going to be taking this base here. So both teams really taking pretty much every base that there is so far.
Yeah, every base except for one is currently occupied, which is awesome.
Yeah, Thermal is pushing away the air force of his opponent. Goblin's mainly just rocking his Tempest still, but he is pretty far down on supply compared to everyone else in this game. Threw up all those extra Stargates, but he just doesn't have a lot going for him to help out, really, at the minute. Thermal's going to try and defend here. Beastyqt and MaxPax are going to be pushing on in, though. The Tempest trying to focus down those carriers.
Woo! Doing a pretty good job of it, too. Another carrier goes down. This is a hard nut to crack, but Beastyqt and MaxPax are looking pretty strong right now.
Yeah, they're managing to push on in once more. So far, they haven't been able to kill their opponent, but it is looking a little bit rough for Goblin, for Thermal right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a... Go ahead.
As Beastyqt and MaxPax pretty much have the entire map. They haven't really been harassed at all.
They have not. However, I don't know. We saw this position about 10 minutes ago.
Yes, we did.
And Goblin and BeastyqtMaxPax were able to break out of it then. So I like the Liberator. Oh, unless they get smashed by Thors and Tempests. Don't want to be doing that.
Oh, Mothership taking a lot of shots.
Yeah, that Tempest fire so good against the Mothership, against Tempest, against Broodlords, Carriers. This is what Tempests are for here. Another Tempest goes down. But yeah, BeastyQT and MaxPax feeling really confident. Both effectively maxed out.
Yeah. UThermal, he went to try and deal with that harassment, but doing so, he kind of left his opponent to try and deal with his main army himself, and Goblin simply can't do that, as he's actually down in the Tempest count. He doesn't really have the numbers to tango with his air force of his opponents. So UThermal is just pretty much going all in on the counterattack, but Thors are not that good in a base race.
No, just because they're slow. And if you're slow, it's hard to kill stuff fast. Especially in a situation where everybody is spread out this far. So I mean, it's not a huge army on the front door of Goblin and UThermal right now, but it's enough. Yeah, the tanks are causing some problems here. The Tempests are getting shot at, though.
Yeah, the Thor's doing pretty darn well for themselves. Both teams are really dropped in supply a fair bit. It's possible Goblin and UThermal can repel their opponents. UThermal scanning to allow Goblin to have that range on the Tempest to make their shots effective, and it looks like they will repel their opponent here. This is a pretty big victory for UThermal Goblin.
Yeah, they lost a couple of bases, which is problematic, but they did wipe out one of the enemies here too, so the math kind of works out for them in the long run. It's just consistently higher supply counts for BeastyQT and MaxPax at this point, which is not going to bode well. But on the aggression, here we go from the south. A bunch of Tempests. We got our Thors. The Viking count, I'm not sure, is high enough to deal with this either.
No, Goblin has managed to keep his Tempest count high enough. He's managed to do a good job. And now they're kind of getting the jump on BeastyQT and MaxPax, who haven't really been on the defensive this entire game. The Mothership goes down. The Thors are going to get under the Tempest a little bit to help zone them out. This is a big engagement going down.
This is. The Thor micro is pretty good, staying out of range of those tanks, letting the Tempest handle the other Tempests while they can. And yeah, just reestablishing some bases down south while the pressure is going on here. This is fantastic game number 1 today.
Yeah, what a beautiful 2v2 match. A lot of Thors, a lot of Tempest and tanks as well. Close match, albeit. Goblin and UThermal have been consistently down on supply this entire game, but they're still making a good fight out of it.
Yeah, just upgrades continuing apace for everybody. Nobody getting really left behind there. And again, the bases have all been established. There's that one gold base down south that nobody's mining from at the moment, but I imagine somebody will be hopping over there pretty darn soon.
Yeah, that could become a big point of contention in the future. 6 Tempests at a time for MaxPax, who's currently at 17 Tempest against the 7 of Goblin. Revelations being tossed down. Tempest are all about that vision, as they need it to shoot their long shots.
Once again, on the aggression here, we got Goblin, we got UThermal, the Viking trying to keep everybody apart, but they don't have nearly enough Vikings to make that happen.
No.
A little bit scary. Attack up north here too. Oh, that's gone, cleaned up by the Stalkers, defending quite nicely.
Yeah, the worker count really does tell a bit of the story, though. UThermal at 45, Goblin at 60, whereas their opponents are at 75 and 80 respectively. BeastyQT and MaxPax have quite the worker lead.
Yeah, it's going to be problematic here. The banks are starting to get up here. MaxPax especially sitting on about a 3,000 mineral, 1,200 gas bank. Which allows for a pretty solid remax if something happens here.
Oh, there's a tank counterattack. This is going to hit one of GoblinuThermal's main mining bases, really his only mining base at this point in tank, where the SCVs are going to give their lives to try and repair this until the Tempest and Carriers of Goblin come in to help his teammate.
And they do save it. A couple SCVs die, but could have been worse. Their north base does explode. Probes trying to get out of there. They do manage to escape.
Yeah, it looks like Goblin looks like Goblin going to be going for a bit of a counterattack to repay the favor by attacking Beastyqt's Planetary Fortress. SCV repair is pretty good, but not good enough.
Yeah, not against that much.
I mean, they were doing pretty good.
They were.
They held on for a while. This has suddenly left GoblinuThermal a little bit exposed, so Beastyqt and MaxPax are going to seize the opportunity. Goblin is out of position to help his teammate, so GoblinuThermal is just being bullied away. He's losing tons and tons of Thors here, and all of a sudden, tanks, Tempest, and Viking is rolling on up.
Looking pretty assertive here. There we go. Planetary Fortress finally gets taken down. There's an army of GoblinuThermals up here that's actually trying to come back home. I think they probably could have taken down the Nexus and come home, but maybe getting out of
just so stranded right now. They are in big trouble here. These Thors, they're pretty good against Tempest, but not in this number, as they are just getting volleyed on down. The tanks of Beastyqt going to get sieged on up. And GoblinuThermal has basically no army left, no income left. So you see Goblin, he's going for a bit of a base trade right now, but he's not going to win out in the air fight. And it is going to be game number 1 going towards Beastyqt and MaxPax, who seem to be a pretty good team.
Yeah, for sure. Working together, sticking together, that's what's so big in 2v2, is just doing teamwork. But look at the supply, as Todd would say. GoblinuThermal's down under 100, which is not great. Beastie and Max are both maxed out, and that's it. Your GG. Goblin's out. And Beastie and Max get a game number 1 victory. Well played.
All right. That was a 23-minute game number 1.
Just insane. Yeah, everybody is pretty much at the same supply there at around 17, 18 minutes. And then everybody's able to pretty much get their army supply back up, but GoblinuThermal had just taken such an economic hit, he couldn't quite get there, and that was a main part of the problem, so. Let's hop on into our game number 2 here, joining up. I still can't get the stream to load. This is really weird. Because other people are definitely in there.
They are indeed.
Maybe I'll try Edge, the Edge browser.
Oh, you know you're getting desperate when you're trying the Edge browser.
I mean, Firefox and Chrome are out, so yes, I am.
Okay. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in.
Yeah, we are on heavy artillery here for game number 2.
Okay, and the last game, there was definitely a lot of heavy artillery.
Heck yeah. Thors and tanks, man. Long distance attacks begin.
Beastie, MaxPax, Goblin. Everyone is good to go. Zanwan in chat saying I'm rooting for my boy Beastie.
Yeah, looking pretty good so far.
He is indeed.
Trying to decide if I have this map vetoed in 2v2s or if it's newer to the pool.
It's been a while since I actually played some 2v2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just new.
Yeah, they usually just change out like 1 or 2 maps at a time.
Right.
So, here we are. After a long hard-fought battle, it is MaxPax and BeastyQt, who managed to close it out. Waiting for Falcon to get on my camera vision, which takes a while.
We made it. We figured it out. All right, so team, I don't know, south here, we've got the red Terran player. It is UThermal. And then his teammate right over on next door, he's blue, he's Protoss, he's Goblin.
Yeah, I was thinking of like asking the teams to come up with a name or something like that. But, the pro gamers aren't known for being super creative, so they'd probably be like, team, my name plus my teammate's name. Yes, maybe if I'd given them a bit more notice, but there wasn't a ton of notice. Wait, what? Why did you thermal? Wait, you can mine from your teammate's gas?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
You don't see it a lot, but it's definitely doable.
Wow, I never knew you could do that in 2v2.
Mm-hmm.
UThermal with the ultimate assist.
I don't really see what the benefit here is exactly, but that's okay.
I guess more minerals for Goblin to spend. Quicker gas. Maybe Goblin's just gonna go hard on the Phoenix this game and try and out BeastyqtMaxPax.
Get a little bit of an advantage in the Phoenix ball.
Because it does matter. Phoenix are expensive. Heavy artillery, it's got the one safe base at the back. Looks like Goblin is the player who gets to take that one for his team, whereas BeastyQt is taking the forward one, so probably MaxPax taking the rear base for his team. Probably a wise decision, right?
Yeah, I think so.
As Protoss can't lift off their Nexus. Wait, MaxPax returning the favor, or no, MaxPax stole UThermal's gas.
There we go.
He's
yeah,
like,
different
you
shade of
built
blue.
your teammate's gas, so I'm gonna go ahead and take yours. The probe hid in the geyser for a second too, to try and avoid the Marine.
He's running. He's got a mouthful of gas there in a box form. You think it's in a box, or do you think it's just been compacted into a cube somehow?
I think the cube is the container.
Okay.
Because like in the animation, doesn't it like fall away when they return it or something?
I mean, it just sort of disappears. So, Reaper here trying to get some probe kills. Nothing here really to stop him as we're going right into Phoenix plane. That's a little bit late.
Phoenixes are the name of the game.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful trap and kill there. Nicely done by Team South.
Ultimate teamwork there.
I like to call teams that are red and blue Team Captain America.
Okay.
But it also could be like Team France or Team the United Kingdom, because a lot of countries have red and blue, but...
Yes, that is true. MaxPax from Denmark, which is red. BeastyQt's from Serbia, which may have some pink? Or no, it's blue and red, I want to say. I don't know.
The Serbian national flag?
Yeah.
The Serbian flag is red, white, and blue with a crest on it, including a crown and two birds.
Pretty.
It's fairly complicated. Yeah.
Okay, so both players on each team have got themselves a second base up. UThermal really wanted to help out his teammate, builds yet another gas for Goblin, so he's fully acknowledging the fact that he's like, build Phoenix, man. Just build all the Phoenix. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, there's a Widowmine drop, by the way.
And they're going to get the Burlder reaction time!
Oh! Massive Widowmine hits.
Yeah, all those Widowmine hits did some serious good work there. Defensive Widowmines versus other Widowmines. See all the time.
Yeah, BeastyQt, second game in a row against Mass Phoenix, went for a Widowmine drop. And oh my gosh, are these mines actually going to get a shot off?
And got stuff done. Oh my gosh, they're almost on the cooldown. That one will.
Okay, just the one probe.
Could have been worse.
Definitely could have been worse, but things are pretty bad. The fact that that Goblin was going so hard into Phoenix. Then his economy just got rocked by a Widowmine drop. I wouldn't be surprised if Thermal's also funneling money towards his teammate. As Phoenix control is that important. I believe it's after like the 4th minute that you can send resources to your teammate.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4. Well, the good news is I've got chat. Stream's not loading, so we'll take it. We'll take chat.
Yes.
Anyway, 9 pulse crystals on the way here for MaxPax. Get in that range that we talked about. The purple lasers are better than the regular lasers.
Mm-hmm.
I love the escort here.
Change color.
They do.
The Widowmine drop gonna be heading towards Beastyqt's mineral line, but Widowmine drop not the best versus Terran, not at least compared to Protoss or Zerg. And all of a sudden, the Phoenix of Goblin actually have been. Oh, this is bad news bears for Team Goblin Thermal. MaxPax totally just won the Phoenix war.
Yeah. The Widowmines didn't do a whole lot there.
No.
Phoenix count is currently 5 to 14, which is not good.
That is bad news bears for Team Thermal Goblin. Took some economic damage and all the Phoenix died, going for that bit of a Hail Mary drop. Yeah. BeastyqtMaxPax are looking pretty good so far. Thermal, once again with the assist for his teammate. Built goblins, missile turrets in his base to help out.
Yeah, these Phoenix are kind of unopposed. The enemy Phoenix can't get in. Yeah, see the purple lasers as opposed to the blue ones now?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Most,
looks like the engagement happening, but this is not going to work out for Goblin and Thermal. And MaxPax, who's like, I won the Phoenix War, I can now safely build carriers.
Can expand 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Goblin just trying to catch up in the Phoenix count, but his economy is worse. His army is worse. Thermal, I think, is going to have to do some heavy carrying if his team is going to win this one, as he himself hasn't taken too much damage. All right, here's a big attempt at a drop going down from BeastyQt and Goblin. The Phoenix can control the skies while the tanks of BeastyQt get sieged on up wherever they choose to drop. And it looks like they're just going to go around those missile turrets, unload into the main base of Goblin here.
Yeah, this is pretty problematic right now. Phoenix are doing some serious work. The tanks are set up, ready to destroy all of the things. And a drop from Thermal says, well, maybe we can get some damage done over there, because this is going to be hard to dislodge at the moment. Firing on that shared gas. Losing a Stargate at this stage of the game is not very good either. Defensive tanks do set up. They're out of range of the other enemy tanks.
Yeah, Goblin has managed to squeeze out a much higher Phoenix count since his opponent started or ceased building them. So he has rebuilt a fair few to give him the lead. Meanwhile, Thermal's drop actually getting a bit of damage done. Going to be able to focus down some of these Phoenix as the carriers are revealed.
Not much of a surprise there, it turns out. So, yeah, the worker count is 36 probes for Goblin, which is super bad. Everybody else is around 60. We got 75 for BeastyQt because his macro is insane.
Uh-huh. Seems to be what he's focusing on this game. He got a lot of early bases in the last one. Just getting PFs and turrets at them all as well, just saying, right, I don't want to be pulled apart by 2 people potentially harassing me, so PFs it is. Okay, here we go. What could be a potential all-in to try and end the game from Thermal and Goblin? Supply is pretty significant here for UThermal and Goblin. So UThermal is going to start elevating his Marines into the natural as there's all those minerals in position, but it looks like Beasty got his tank sieged up ahead of time, so he's going to get off the first few shots, all the while UThermal's Marines are going to set to work on this Nexus. This is actually going alright for Team UThermal Goblin.
Yeah, Nexus does go down, which is problematic, but the tanks on the low ground not really accomplishing much. And taking hits from the carriers too, so losing a base, kind of a big deal, but I think all of the workers got out of there. The evacuation was complete, so worker count is not down where you think it would be otherwise. And replanting it immediately, as all good pros do. Engagement coming down the right side and trying to take down BeastyqT's planetary, but response time from Team North here is going to be good enough.
Okay, so UThermal just keeping on doing his own thing. He's just powering up as like a standard Bio-Terran, but he has got himself up to 4 bases now, so he's really the powerhouse for his team. Goblin providing the anti-air, providing the Phoenix to do what they can, but it really is all about UThermal's army, and it looks like he might be able to catch these carriers here. This could be a huge, huge pickoff from UThermal. Nabs up 1 carrier, nabs up a fair few Vikings as well.
Woo! The other carriers do manage to escape. They're still not very happy about it, though.
No, those carriers, they're sweating hard. BeastyqT going for a Hellion run-by as well. Going to try and set to work on UThermal's economy, but Goblin comes on in with the assist to his teammate. Risky drop being planned by UThermal. There's carriers and mass Phoenix from his opponent, though, to potentially intercept that, so probably wants to abandon that plan.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, desperate times, man. Desperate times calling for desperate measures. Yeah, definitely pulling back here with the medevacs, trying to expand along this left side. There are a lot of bases on this map. It's a very big map for the 2v2.
Yes, it is indeed. I personally haven't seen heavy artillery before, so every day is a new adventure. UThermal, he desperately wants to try and make something happen because he knows that his army is not a late game army like all these carriers, so he's actually just going to go for a mad doom drop into the base of his opponent, but all of a sudden his Marines are by themselves. The Phoenix are actually here from Goblin to try and help out, so it's going to be a big Phoenix battle, but it looks like BeastyqT and MaxPax are going to be able to defend this.
Doom! Nexus goes down, but everybody else is dead. The Marine, pretty good anti-air. Actually, wow, they do take down a couple carriers. The Marine's surviving.
Yeah, not bad. However, Goblin's army was completely reset. He's got essentially nothing to his name. So the burden, once again, is put onto UThermal, and while MaxPax got hurt, BeastyqT, he was essentially unfazed by that and is almost maxed out with a strong mech army.
Goblin going for the Pulse Crystal upgrade here at the 13-minute mark of the match.
After God knows how many Phoenix have died. 48 to 11 of his opponent.
You know what'll help them stay alive is range.
Yeah, that is
on.
absolutely true, the fact that he's just getting that now. But this could potentially just be a death push here coming from BeastyqT. He can probably
even brought some SCVs to mine through this mineral wall so he can get up the ramp. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, his tanks are just all of a sudden rolling on up into his opponent's base saying, "What's up?" And UThermal's gonna say, not a lot.
I have some Phoenix, I guess, but there are so many Vikings and enemy Phoenix out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this feels pretty GG. I'm looking at it, and the tank fire in range. UThermal's Marines are good.
Marines ain't breaking a BF anytime soon.
No, especially if there's tank support.
And there is the Marines for UThermal doing what they can. He's been pretty steady this entire game, but the bio just isn't enough to overcome all these tanks, overcome the air control of their opponent. And as a result, it looks like BeastyqtMaxPax are going to be going up 2-0 over UThermal Goblin.
I gotta say, that is not my prediction for this match.
No,
or the series.
I honestly thought Beastyqt and MaxPax would show us some cool stuff, but they've really just been dominating and just playing a very solid game.
Yeah, Beastie's macro has been insanely good.
MaxPax is one battle.
Really good too. Is there
one BC?
Yes. One battle cruiser to rule them all.
Is, there's 21 Phoenix out. Now I know that battle cruisers are not, or that Phoenix are not good against BC, but there's also Vikings, Tempest, a Mothership, Carriers, and Thors. So to this one BC that's about to be made, I salute you.
May you accomplish all of your goals.
Which is probably just yeeting itself across the map, hoping to crash into something and do as much damage as possible.
And kill 20 workers. Oh yeah.
Hey, if that was an option, I'd take that.
It's definitely an option. Battlecruiser, good unit. Let's go.
Should you be able to just like strap a nuke to a BC and teleport it at your opponent?
Well, there's the teleport, top right. That would be pretty good.
Let's go, BC!
Told ya, he's gonna get all the kills.
Are the Phoenix gonna come back to deal with it? I want to see one BC versus like bajillion Phoenix.
I don't think they're even aware at this point. Thermal's got another army in the bottom right. Are those another drop?
It's a tank that was unloaded and some Marines dropping. Thermal and Goblin are giving it the good old college try. And so is this battlecruiser, but here we go, let's see. Phoenix versus BC. Unfortunately, these are +2 Phoenix, so they actually do some damage to a battlecruiser.
And he gets 14 kills. That's pretty good. There's your GG, and Beastie and MaxPax take the 2-2-0 lead in this best of 5. Holy smokes.
Not what I expected.
Not at all. Put our surprised faces on here. Well done.
Yes.
Well done by Beastie. Yeah, Thermal, again, just not really quite able to get up to where he wants to be economically in army value. Goblin kind of losing the Sky Toss battle against MaxPax, which I'm surprised by. I didn't expect that from the young player.
Yeah, it seems that Beastyqt and his teammate have very good synergy together with allowing MaxPax to just get up to that high count. Even though Thermal tried to directly support his teammate by building those refineries for him.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
It was not enough.
We've got Jen Kurt in chat saying, crazy 2v2. I was waiting for this event for quite a while, and it's been totally worth it. Agreed. Really fun, crazy PvT versus PvT stuff here so far. Well, yeah, check out the match arena. There's a link there above chat. You can go to all the free codes are gone, which is great. That's a good problem to have. But if you just want to donate to the prize pool for these players, it doesn't go to us, goes to the players. You can do that there over at the match arena, and even gain access to the replay pack for this event. Which how many times do you get replays for 2v2 with elite players like this? I got to tell you, it's probably not very often.
It's not often. Have you been able to get the stream to load yet?
Nope. It was just spinning at me.
Apparently some others are having issues too, so hopefully that'll be resolved soon.
Go for another reload just for fun.
Okay. So we are just going to get Thermal on into the lobby. And we'll see if GoblinuThermal is going to be able to bring it back. Is it time for them just to go for like the 2 racks or something?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised both these games turn into crazy macro-style matches. 2v2s are super, super fast in a lot of situations, but... Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see one here.
I expected the 2v2 to be like crazy, but maybe it is just the nature of the matchup, since there's a Protoss on each team.
Right. Could be. He might have to restart his client. It's not my internet, Aki. And actually, it just came in. It does this thing. It comes in for like 4 seconds, and then it goes to a loading animation. So it's sort of loading, just not
It's
really.
like it's there, but you can't have it.
Yeah, teasing me. Yeah, I think Thermal's getting a lobby bug, so I hope he's restarting his client. We'll try this again.
Oh,
there we go. There we go. Excellent.
Here's a fun fact. While we have never had MaxPax in an Afreeca World event before, BeastyQt was in one of the very first Afreeca Worlds.
Nice.
Back when he was a full-time pro player.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, MaxPax is young. He was born in 2005, which puts him at...
Oh, does he have a Wikipedia page?
He does.
Huh,
It is...
I tried to find it before, and I could only find that darn build.
Yeah.
Oh, is it new? Or did I just not find it? Oh, it's new. It was...
Did it not exist a couple days ago? I'm not surprised.
Or it was updated on February 8th.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but he's an up-and-coming pro. 2005, that's nuts.
Yeah, that's that puts him at I'm doing the maths here. Probably not doing it right.
Years.
But is
yeah,
he 15?
He's only 15.
I didn't realize he was 15.
How old's BeastyQt? Is he twice as old as his teammate?
Let's find out.
I don't think he's that old. He's been around a while.
BeastyQt is 30, so...
Oh, so he is!
Yeah, well, he's 29, almost 30. Close enough.
Okay.
But yeah, totally. That's crazy.
That is nuts. That is bananas right there. And he's so much better at Starcraft than me and you combined.
Absolutely. He could beat us in a 2-on-1.
He probably could, which is really depressing. Okay, we're going to be seeing a bit of the fromage, but it's... Oh my gosh, is MaxPax doing the MaxPax?
Well, they both got scouted with early workers coming out, so that's going to be a problem.
Alright, anyway. In the top right, it's BeastyQt. It's MaxPax.
And in the bottom left, we've got Thermal and Goblin.
Thermal, Goblin. There is no MaxPax going on from MaxPax. I can dream. If I see that, my head just might explode.
Zonwan says Falcon has an evil laugh, which, yeah, it's probably fair. Fair statement. Yeah, this is a weird map to spell. Efflorescence.
Efflorescence.
It's not effort. Yeah, it's not effervescence. It's efflorescence.
Efflorescence.
Weird.
Florence.
Is that a word?
I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it.
That's a good question. StarCraft 2 map names give you a lot to talk about.
Efflorescence. In chemistry, efflorescence is the migration of a salt to the surface of a porous material where it forms a coating.
That's interesting.
The essential process involves the dissolving of an internally held salt in water, or occasionally in another solvent.
This is interesting.
Science.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it involves salt, so I think it's appropriate for a StarCraft 2 map name.
Absolutely. That's probably what he was thinking. Whoever made this map was like, I'm gonna make people salty.
Salt comes to the surface here. So, no shenanigans. I mean, there's a gas steal, but otherwise, there's no shenanigans.
There is no shenanigans. However, Goblin's going for double stalker this game. Whereas we haven't seen this from MaxPax yet. He's just going hard on the Phoenix once more. Thermal also going to grab up a few probes of MaxPax, which is nice. Denying a ton of mining.
What? No. The lost mining time, though.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to replace Phoenix if you're losing this many probes and this much mining time. This is already very nice for you, Thermal. Oh, he's going to get another one. Is he?
Ooh,
He
nice.
gets it. He's on a rampage. 4-kill Reaper.
Still alive. Stalker hunting him, though. The jukes are real, but they're not enough. And he goes right on down.
Yeah, now the thing is, Goblin's suddenly crossing the map with 4 Stalkers, which is no small amount. And MaxPax is essentially going to have nothing to help on out besides a couple of Phoenix they can lift. But in small numbers of unit skirmishes, Phoenix not that helpful, so it's a very good thing Beastie built this bunker.
Absolutely. Bunker, one of the anti-Phoenix plays.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is good.
Hang on,
this prism
save
goes
it.
down. Oh, it's gonna go down.
Too many Phoenix play.
That is a sad time because he could have just elevated into their bases. That would have been huge.
That would have been problematic, but it's gone now.
That is so smart from MaxPax, and I think he was probably looking for that prism because he's a Protoss. He knows. And look at this. Another prism's on the way out. There's nothing.
That is the smallest Phoenix harass of all time.
It is.
Cloak Banshees from Uthermal too. It's exciting.
Ooh, that's good to see. Until it gets scanned. Which is sad times all around. Where's that other prism that Goblin made? There it is. It has made it to the front lines. So the elevator could actually be so real here. There's like nothing in the main base to defend for Beastie. There's not that much in the main base to defend for MaxPax. So units would have to be pulled back. And oh, look at this.
Elevator!
He's bringing the sentries.
Yeah.
Now, this is a bit risky.
Except for that
the
one.
sentries can
there we
force
go.
field. This is actually quite risky from Goblin committing in here.
It really is. Tech Lab down, which is a minor victory, but both armies effectively are here right now with tanks, marines, and Phoenix. This is really dangerous from Goblin, but he's staying alive for the most part. He's really committing at this point.
Yeah, he can always recall to get out.
Fair.
While this is going on, Uthermal has got Hellions into the main base of MaxPax, and MaxPax is down to 9 probes.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't catch exactly what happened, but I'm gonna guess it involved a Medivac and Hellions running by. They're now hitting Beastyqt's base. This is looking good for Uthermal Goblin.
Yeah, Uthermal Goblin team looks like they might just avoid the sweep here. It's looking really bad for their other team, or the other team here.
And Uthermal, who has had enough of Phoenix, is going for 2 factory, 2 base Thor.
Let that Thor production begin. Let it flow. Goblin's got some army up north. That War Prism can't quite get in there. Defensive Phoenix for MaxPax are a little bit too much this time.
But the damage really has been done. Like, look at the worker count. 26 and 15 against 35 and 45. Uthermal has more workers than the entire opposing team put together. And yet he still hasn't killed this geyser MaxPax built in his base. He's keeping it as a souvenir. Cloaked Banshees also being a pain. Beastie is going for bio this game, but it's going to be tough. Their team is in a very tough spot. Oh, even a depth shading by for Goblin to deny more mining. Oh, this is so smart.
Yeah, that's a just consistent harass, constant problem.
Yeah, this one adept murdering probes.
La, 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 la. The probes have to fight for their own lives, which is never ever good.
No.
It's always bad.
All because the Phoenix were chasing the Banshees. Another Banshee shows on up. Because even if it kills like 1 or 2 probes, that's like 1/10 of MaxPax's economy gone.
Oh, got nothing though. That stinks.
Yeah, this is looking real good for Uthermal Goblin. Beastie does have stim bio and siege tanks, so there's always a chance. bridge in the center of the map. Going to be killed. Very pretty scenery, by the way.
Yeah, it's a pretty map. You would never know it's all about salt. I actually hate this map as a Zerg because there's spots that look like high ground where you can hide over.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, like that right there at the north. That little, just on the screen right now, that little flower spot.
Oh, really?
Not high ground. Yeah. What? Nope. Ground not where you can see and kill anything up there. It's stupid.
Huh. That's true. That is kind of odd.
Yeah.
It's okay. That'll get patched when some pro players complain on Twitter about it.
Yeah, exactly. Complain about their 2v2 games.
Yep. Looks like BeastyqtMaxPax and Goblin just saying, we have a ton of stuff, and you're just one guy, really, here. There are Phoenix to help out, but this is simply just a lot for you. BeastyqtMaxPax and Goblin. Tanks are going to be getting focused down by the Stalkers of Goblin with Blink. The Hellions for BeastyqtMaxPax coming into buffer, and the Siege tanks are all being focused down here, all but one so far.
And the one that's alive is doing some good work, and now he is gone, though. Another tank joins the party.
Game, simply too real, though.
Yeah, Stalker's trading against the Phoenix really well. Beasty and Max are just down to a combined 100 supply, which is where BeastyqtMax's sitting right by himself. So, it's looking pretty good here for Team South. Goblin and BeastyqtMax pushing across the map. Again, it's PvT, so it's slow pushes.
Well, yeah.
Stalker's just blinking in on top of that tank.
Goblin
trying to lift and kill Stalkers.
Though. He's taken so much abuse the past 2 games. He's going to put one on the board.
Yeah, Beastie's out. MaxPax decides to leave too, and we are on the board. Goblin and BeastyqtMax down 1-2, but not dead yet. Oh, yeah.
I see. Falcon, Paladin, and Tiger have contributed to the Match Reno page. You guys are literal gods supporting the 2v2 scene.
Gotta get more 2v2, man. Yeah, BeastyqtMax, for struggling in the first 2 games, he's the one. He's the one that kind of carried at the end there. Nicely done. Fantastic play out of the Dutchman.
Okay, so the 4th map is going to be Rascallion.
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 It is fun to say.
So we'll get everyone on into the game.
Try to load the stream again just for fun. La, la, la. Just a little. That's supposed to be a Valentine's Day loading animation with the Afreeca guy, Afreeca TV.
Maybe. They're always doing something cute.
Just throwing hearts. Feels very Valentine's Day, but I don't like. Does Afreeca care about Valentine's Day? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Valentine's Day is a thing in Korea.
To the Googles.
That's a good question. It's got to be one of those things that's universal.
I don't know, man.
No, there's some Korean holiday, which it's like their equivalents of Valentine's Day.
No, it is. It's Valentine's Day in Korea.
Okay. They've got like some other traditions about that.
They do. Oh, yeah. So it's one of the 12 love days celebrated on the 14th of every month in Korea. Holy smokes.
That's interesting. That's a lot of love days.
It is. So on Valentine's Day in Korea, Korean women give chocolate to men as a sign of affection. Huh. Traditionally, men that receive these gifts will give a gift in return the following month on White Day on March 14th. But retailers are trying to change it up, where everybody gives everybody gifts on both days because you sell more stuff that way.
Equality.
Yeah, and it's better for the economy, I guess. I don't know.
All right, away we go. Moving on in to what could potentially be the match that'll lead us to an ace match, or the match that's going to make BeastyQt and MaxPax move to the finals. Do you think BeastyqtMax and Goblin have reached like a better level of teamwork? And that's why they won the last match? Or just that they changed it up and were more aggressive and didn't try and sort of play the MaxPax BeastyQt Phoenix shenanigans game?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think being more aggressive in a 2v2 will serve you pretty well.
Oh man, this map though, it is a big one.
Yeah.
In the top left-hand side of the map, it is Goblin and UThermal.
And way in the bottom side, we've got the green Protoss player MaxPax and his pink teammate, who is a Terran, BeastyQT.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks like in chat we were selected as like a hot broadcast, I think. I'm not sure I saw that at the start. And looks like we have ourselves a bit of a cheeky proxy. It would not be a UThermal series without a 2-Rax. Let me tell ya.
Yeah, that translates to the broadcast is ranked #1 in stars with silent viewers by star rating. I don't know what that means.
Leave like a favorite and the 1-up on the stream as well.
Yeah, please do that. Thumbs up down below.
Mm-hmm. No matter where you're watching, there is a way to support. Okay, so BeastyQT is going for his own 2-Rax Reaper. Double gate from Goblin once again, but MaxPax once again is just going for the 1 gate into probably Phoenix again, I'm guessing. Now, this is going to be curious because 2-Rax Reaper on your side of the map is one of the best things to defend 2-Rax Reaper versus your opponent. And if we take a look here, MaxPax has entirely solved the Reaper problem just by throwing up a Cybercore on the cliff here.
That'll do. That'll do, pig.
That'll do it. Goblin finishes up his Cybercore, so he is going to be able to make double Stalkers here. Once again, similar to the previous game. And it's just a Stargate for MaxPax. MaxPax is the Phoenix guy.
Which is really strange, because I thought he was the MaxPax guy.
Apparently not. I feel like I've been lied to.
Well, maybe it's just if you're Protoss in a 2v2, you have to make Phoenix. That's the social expectation.
I think it is. I think you are right. That's social expectation of Protoss players.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, it must be hard being a Protoss at social gatherings. Like, they don't have mouths, and they don't eat. So you can't bring food. Just a nightmare. Let's see. MaxPax has said, no Phoenix for me because you guys have been bullying me. So I'm just going to make some Stalkers to help BeastyQT defend, all the while an Oracle is on the way. And we see an expansion from Goblin. I also can't help but notice how BeastyQT is getting up in eBay and is making 3-Rax Reaper at a time now. So I'm wondering if we're going to see +1. Reapers are skirmishing, by the way, but Thermal is going to be getting pushed away. His 2 barracks are going to have to lift off, and all of a sudden he is not going to be able to produce a lot as his barracks that were producing his Reapers have been compromised. So he's going to have to get up that factory, that starport ASAP, and then just macro from there.
I gotta say, these are the shenanigans I expected when I heard about 2v2 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
All of the Reapers go.
BeastyQT is still making more Reapers. I'd love to see him get +1 on Reapers.
Yeah, I got an engineering bay. What's it for?
I guess a turret.
Fine.
So boring.
Yeah, whatever. Static defense, lame.
Now, this is a bad time here for Goblin, who's having his natural bully. His Stalkers are kind of sectioned off. He just needs to make as many units as he can to help out, but gonna lose some of those Stalkers. UThermal tossing down his own grenades to try and help out his teammate. He's building a Cyclone as well. This is just a madhouse skirmish right now. Stalkers and Reapers taking each other on.
When you have enough Reapers to take on Stalkers like that, you're doing something.
Oh, looks like Goblin lost a lot of workers, though, due to that Oracle.
Yeah, he's down to 11 probes. That's not great.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
They're like, we don't care. You try to stop us from getting up this way? Haha!
We're Reapers.
We can do whatever we want in mass quantities, except shoot up. It's the one thing.
True. Unless you're playing the campaign and they can fly, or co-op was it, then they can fly and then shoot. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So, Euthermal and Goblin are down on the worker count on both fronts, akin to their counterparts.
It's not a great place to be, LaughNgamez.
No, it's not. And it's just a dog hunt for Euthermal's Reapers right now, who are going to say, wait, that's a lot more Reapers than we are. So they are run in, while MaxPax is also making a Void Ray, which is kind of curious. Void Ray's Immortals are pretty good. In PvP, anyway. Goblin is trying to get his worker count back up. Euthermal doesn't have a ton of production, so he's just going for a third CC. Lots of Cyclones, third CC, playing from there. It's tough.
Love the scouting barracks from Euthermal down south, just getting smashed, but doing all of the scouting. There we go. Sees the Void Rays, gets the information really early.
Now, this could be a little bit concerning, though. The fact that there is Stim and Siege Tank and Immortals and Void Rays, this could be tough to stop for Goblin and Euthermal if Beastyqt and MaxPax go for an attack. The Cyclones for Euthermal may be able to get some good lock-ons. Not the best versus Marines, though, so they're going to have to turn and run. And all of a sudden, this is a little bit concerning here. So Euthermal and Goblin are going to try and slow the attack of their opponent as long as possible by using their high mobility units, but this is still very concerning, the fact that this attack is coming across the map. Cyclone's locking on, going to kill a couple of Marines, but they got a lot more to go.
That poor Medevac has got to heal a lot of injured bio. She's not going to be able to pull that off. Another Medevac joins the party, going to help out with that, but...
Oh, this could be a potential nice attack here if they set up tanks in position. This could completely compromise the mineral line of Goblin, and that's exactly what Beastyqt is going to do. Goblin is going to have to abandon that location. All the while, Medivac's going to drop Marines into his main base, so Goblin suddenly taking a lot of aggression here.
Yeah, that tank fire from the low ground is super annoying to deal with. Marines dropping, taking down a lot of probe. Medevac is going to die just to the lock on. The Marines are dead too there, but they take a Cyclone with them, which is really nice stuff. Void Rays and tanks on that Nexus. That Nexus is going to die. There's no saving it. You can't repair it.
Goblin did build another, so it's not like his economy is going to be trashed, but it's not in a great spot. I do like the Liberator harassment as well from Euthermal to try and get some counter damage done, but these guys are in a bit of a tough spot. So we see Goblin doing the one behind Dark Shrine. All the while MaxPax is going into Disruptors behind this. And oh, look at this. Stalker counterattack going down from Goblin. Link up into the main base of his opponent. However, there is siege tanks here. There's a disruptor here. Got to be paying attention right now. If you are a Goblin, he has to dodge that disruptor shot.
Everyone gets out but one.
There's always one left behind.
Yeah, Euthermal macroing like a boss here. 67 SCVs. Nobody is within 20 workers of him right now.
Yeah, that
might be a situation like we saw in game number 3 there.
Yeah, that is impressive by Euthermal to keep his economy going. Stalker's going to catch this drop as well, but they can't actually get up there anymore. Oh, nice move from Goblin to understand that Beastie was going to evac, so he actually just moved up one of the Stalkers to give him high ground vision instead of all of them. Hellion run by going down from Euthermal as well, with Blue Flame going to cook up probes pretty darn well. As we're actually seeing Euthermal go mech here. the DTs that Goblin has been committing to are now going to be finishing up, which is actually very important for him and his team. As there is observers for MaxPax. Oh, and they actually did see the DT. One of the DTs anyway. 2 more are going to cross the map. That observer gets picked off.
Yeah, let's get some constant scanning here, everybody.
Cat's out of the bag on the DTs, though.
Yeah. Trying to sneak on in, though. See what they can do. Liberator causing some problems for Beastie's SCV count. Nice bunch of kills gotten there. Are these SCVs transferring to death?
No.
Why? Oh, that was close. I mean, one SCV died, but they could have been much, much worse.
One more dies. There's always one. Okay. DT just forcing out scans isn't even that bad, as it really cuts into your opponent's economy. And Beastie did make a PF at his 3rd base, which seems to be a stylistic choice, but that also means he's only got a limited number of scans. Meanwhile, MaxPax with his stalkers just trying to keep presence on the map for him and his teammate. Oh! Playing with fire, dodging that disruptor. Big drop going down for BeastyqT.
Anytime there are tanks dropping in your main base as Protoss, you're going to have a bad time. Orc gates are going down, and there's support on the low ground for those guys too. Goblin! His production's in a ton of trouble right now. Losing that Nexus is even on the table.
This is going to be very hard to shut down. UThermal will be able to get his own tanks up to prevent further incursion, but as far as actually shutting this attack down and driving it out, that is going to be a tall order for UThermal Goblin team.
Yeah, losing your main Nexus like that, losing a ton of pylons, getting supply blocked for Goblin too. Terrible, terrible damage, as Dustin Browder would say.
Terrible,
trying to get in here with the Cyclones versus these tanks. Not terrible.
Thermal is stepping forward with his own tank, so he will clean out the majority of this. Not bad at all. And all the tanks are actually gone, so he has defended this, all the while Goblin buying time with his stalkers. And DT Blink is being researched for Goblin. He's just all in on the memery. Right, I lost my main base. Give me some of them Blink DTs. Economy-wise, though, UThermal and Goblin not doing too bad, taking lots of bases here. So they've actually still got the lead in that front. But the armies, the armies right now. Very, very scary.
Yeah, Goblin's just kind of a non-factor. Everybody else is doing okay that way, but when it's 2 effectively versus 1, you're going to have a bad time. Just moving into siege tanks here.
That's a little bit risky, but it kind of worked. They cleaned a good portion of them.
That's what we think about your tanks, they said.
It's actually nuts how they just committed into those siege tanks. Very, very ballsy play.
That Blink DT upgrade takes forever, but it's almost done.
Is it going to help, though?
No.
There's observers. I know if you get like 12 DTs, you can just blink on top of a PF, and that is a very good time. However, this attack is definitely getting some damage done. Goblin going to lose a significant portion of his economy. UThermal also going to lose a base. Oh, they are stepping forward, though, but the Disruptor is going to get some potential big shots. The siege tanks are not going to hold up here for UThermal, so UThermal Goblin really dropping in supply, and I don't think they can push any further to repel this attack.
I mean, MaxPax is sitting at 140 supply, which is kind of awesome right now. He's got his Stalkers to help. He's got his Disruptors in the mix, too. Really good against those stationary tanks. Another base going down for Goblin. God, how many Nexus killed for that guy?
He's having a rough go of it. 3 dead Nexus. Who knows how many canceled.
That's what I'm talking about. Disruptors on tanks going down.
UThermal now going to lose that base. He's been constantly counter-harassing, digging into the economy of MaxPax, doing what he can. but it's going to be very tough to bring this game back on harassment alone, as the army, as you said, of MaxPax is just a force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't mind disruptors of his own for Goblin if he can get there, but it's going to be a long journey to make that happen, as his stalkers that he's been microing religiously just haven't been able to really cut it. Hellion run by? Doing work.
Yeah, fight and clawing your way back here. Trying to find damage wherever they can. Hallucinated Colossus on the screen here, down to the south. That was an interesting thing for sure. But oh, it's such a big, scary army.
This is a nuts army we are seeing.
Just, like, viscerally terrifying. There's actually a Protoss streamer that I follow, and that's how he decides when it's time to move out as Protoss. Is my
Does it
my
look
army
scary?
Is it big and scary? Yes, time to go.
Well, I mean, that statement definitely holds up right now. It's the disruptors just move forward and are just lobbing out so many shots. A fair few of them do go down, but the Liberators of BeastyqT are really complicating things here for Team UThermal Goblin. The siege tanks that were defending this location are going to go down. Yeah. All but one of them goes down, and that's going to allow the army to move on in here. And with the army moving on in here, this could potentially just be a victory blow getting dealt by BeastyqT and MaxPax.
Yeah, this is that source of new income for Goblin and UThermal. When you lose the new income, bad things happen. Bit of a backdoor attack here, kind of flanking it.
Big
nice Nova hits on the Zealots.
UThermal, once again, going for Hellion run-bys, but the main army simply can't be stopped here. He's made Cyclones, which are not up to the task of repelling this force. So, they are going to have themselves a very bad time. The Hellion run-by engaging Stalkers of their opponent, but the supply has just fallen too far for Goblin. There's not even that much left for UThermal at this point. And we're actually going to be seeing BeastyqT and MaxPax take the victory.
Yeah, what an upset. I gotta say, I don't know if there were numbers on it, I don't know if there were odds, but coming in, you would not expect this outcome, and that's why Starcraft is great. Especially 2v2s can be more predictable than anything else. The Novas on these Cyclones are insane.
Yeah.
4 or 5 Cyclones have gone down to these Novas today, just in the last couple seconds here.
Mad
the income
Max
is the toilet for Goblin
disruptors.
They know they're out, and BeastyqT and MaxPax with the victory 3-1.
Wow.
And we'll move on to the final. Woo!